Welcome back to Travel Retail Sustainability Week, which recognises and rewards eco-conscious ingenuity across all channels of duty-free and travel retail. I'm now delighted to be able to present the fourth Travel Retail Sustainability Pitch session. The Sustainability Pitch Initiative is designed to give companies the chance to showcase their sustainable products, services and corporate-wide sustainability strategies within duty-free and travel retail and across the broader travel ecosystem. At the end of the process, each entrant will receive an accolade based on their achievements. The 4-star Sustainability Trailblazer and 5-star Sustainability Hero logos will serve as an easy reference for travelling consumers while acting as an important hallmark of excellence for eco-conscious leadership. On behalf of all here at TR Business, I'd like to extend a big thank you to all our event partners. Without their support, this Travel Retail Sustainability Programme would not be possible. All our partners share TR Business' commitment to bringing sustainability to the fore of duty-free and travel retail, and for that we're extremely grateful. Before we present today's pitch participants, let's take a look at our esteemed panel of judges who've given up their time and energies to scrutinise and rigorously evaluate all the entries. Our 25 judges have each viewed all of the sustainability pitch videos. The judges have been asked to assess each pitch according to specific guidelines. For example, the initiative's impact on the environment, the importance of sustainability within the company in general, or consumer feedback on the initiative. After each pitch, there will be a short question and answer session between the judges and the pitching company. There will be 3 questions per company, and all participants have been given 1 minute to answer each question. The judges' scores also take into account the responses given to the questions submitted to each company. The pitches have been awarded a score out of 100, and together with our research partners Mindset, we have determined the benchmark which sets apart the 4-star Travel Retail Sustainability Trailblazers and 5-star Travel Retail Sustainability Heroes.
Taking part in the 4th Travel Retail Sustainability Pitch session are Brown-Forman, Join the Pipe, Beam Suntory and Guerlain.
Now, let's take a look at our first pitch of today's sessions.
The reason we are in Lynchburg is first and foremost for the water. And so we've always been very protective of that, and also are very thoughtful of how we utilize those resources and how we make sure they're there for another 150 years. I'm the Senior Vice President and General Manager for the Jack Daniel's Global Supply Chain. What are the steps you can do today that might not necessarily be impactful tomorrow, but will be meaningful 10 years from now?
We are, in a way, farmers. Our whiskey is very simple. It requires great grains, it requires great water, and wood that goes in the barrel. I am responsible for the full supply chain of Jack Daniel's, as well as environmental and sustainability strategy for the corporation.
For our business, we have to have the long-term view. So that oak tree, before we harvest it to produce a barrel, that takes about 60 years. And then we're producing that barrel and putting the whiskey in it, and that takes several more years to mature. So we tend to look at it, just that total life cycle is about 70 years.
For 150 years, we've been making sure that the barrels that we empty, 100% of them are reused and recycled so that we don't have any waste to the environment.
When you look at the end of the distillation process, we'll have a lot of grain solids left over. And so we convert 100% of that into animal feed. And in fact, about 60% of it is sold directly to local farmers in wet form. The result of that is Moore County actually has the most robust and healthiest cattle industry of any county in the state of Tennessee.
As we were looking at our journey, we had an amazing company and a brand that is growing globally. And for us, meeting the UN science-based goals of an absolute reduction of our greenhouse gas emissions were becoming harder and harder to impossible to meet. So we had to find a new solution.
One way we could do that is by purchasing renewable energy and encouraging the growth of that. That can help offset some of the energy we're purchasing in Lynchburg while we continue our efficiency efforts. Because the more that we can encourage it and hopefully have others follow, it makes more of that available down the road to all of us.
The East Fork project allowed us to offset over 90% of our greenhouse gas emissions, which is a significant milestone in our journey, but it's just one step. Being at the ribbon cutting ceremony and being able to see the scale and the impact that this project had made me amazingly proud of being part of it. ENGIE is building a similar partnership in Colby, Kansas than the one that we have built over 150 years here in Lynchburg, Tennessee. For us, it's important to partner with someone that thinks about the long term of the communities where they work, that thinks about the positive impact that they have in the environment, but it also has a positive impact on the people and on their business purpose. We have to do our part, no matter our size, whether you're a large corporation, whether you're a small corporation, whether you're an individual. We all have to do our part to help. So for us, finding a partner like ENGIE was very important.
So there ends our first sustainability pitch. Let's move on to the Q&A with our judges.
What programs are in place regarding packaging?
At Brown-Forman, we recently conducted a symposium on sustainable packaging where we convened internal and external experts to review opportunities to integrate sustainability into packaging. As an outcome of this work, we developed a new sustainable packaging strategy with new commitments and targets, and this was recently endorsed by our leadership and board. From this new program, we will see further integration of our new commitments to materials recovery, including recycling and sustainable material choices. Presently, all projects that involve a new packaging format or a change to existing packaging are overseen by the Brown-Forman Project Management Office. These projects are required to go through the Brown-Forman stage gate process, which includes a sustainability review of the proposed package design and guidelines established in our Sustainable Packaging Scorecard. This review includes an analysis of materials, including percentage of recycled content, the overall weight and size of the package, and the number of unique components. Where a packaging format is being changed, the new package is compared to the previous one, and suggestions are made to reduce overall impact.
What's your strategic goal for zero waste?
For the past few years, Brown-Forman's strategic waste goal was a target for zero waste to landfill for all its production operations by 2020. We met this target with over 99.8% waste diverted by our production facilities across the globe. Jack Daniel's Operations, featured in the video submitted, has been one brand that met this goal early through the diversion of waste streams to secondary uses, such as reusing grain and yeast distilling byproduct for cattle feed and repurposing used barrels for other alcohol manufacturers, such as Scotch and whiskey. In the evolution of our sustainability ambitions, our new strategic goal on zero waste is to integrate circular economy principles in all aspects of our business, going even beyond our production sites, with a full focus on zero waste, not just zero waste to landfill. This new strategic goal will allow us to design out waste in all areas of the business over time.
Consumers are increasingly discerning about corporate responsibility and sustainability. How do you communicate your sustainable values to the end consumer so that they are more informed when they purchase your products?
Our brands vary on the level of sustainability messaging directly communicated to the consumers. We've traditionally held a humble approach, letting the product and its packaging speak for itself with embedded features of sustainability. As consumers increasingly look for overt messaging to help guide them, we are ramping up our communication as well. We've used tools such as social media to share the sustainability profiles of our brands. Jack Daniel's, featured in the video, has an entire section on its US website on sustainability, which is dedicated to sharing the sustainability story of the brand to our consumers and other stakeholders. Look for more messaging on sustainability of our brands in the future.
Moving swiftly on, let's take a look at our second sustainability pitch.
Every minute, 1 million PET bottles are being produced worldwide. This form of packaging is easy and cheap, but most of the bottles are thrown away after one single use. In France alone, 25 million single-use PET bottles are thrown away every day. They end up in the main rivers, and after a long swim, they arrive at the huge plastic soup, which is 5 times the size of France. We, at Join the Pipe, offer an alternative for single-use packaged water bottles, City Water. City Water is a revolutionary new packaging concept which has been tested in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, with several huge stakeholders in the field of education, retail and hospitality. The University of Amsterdam, the largest university of the country, Hilton Hotel and many other hotels in the city, and the Albert Heijn, the leading supermarket of the Netherlands. The concept consists of 3 elements. First, we install a filling line at our factory to fill our reusable water bottles with locally produced, filtered and treated tap water and provide them with a sealing to ensure the quality and safety of it. Second, we then sell these reusable city bottles at an affordable price so that consumers don't have to buy expensive and polluting single-use PET bottles anymore, but instead can purchase a multi-use and trendy city bottle and refill it at one of our tap stations. These tap stations are for indoor and outdoor use, so the consumers can drink this fresh and clean drinking water for free. The concept of city water is easily to adopt in any city of the world, as the bottles can be designed and embossed with the skyline of the city. It makes an attractive and sustainable bottle for visiting tourists and local inhabitants. Also, it can be printed with the logo of your organization. Join us now with City Water.
Once again, let's move on to the judges' Q&A session.
We would like to know whether the bottle itself has been produced from recycled materials and what is the supply chain sustainability agenda.
All our bottles are made from sugarcane. They are made from bioplastic from a vegetal source. BPA-free, dishwasher safe, and made in Holland. All plastic in contact with food can only be made from a virgin material. Otherwise, we cannot use it for a drinking bottle. We can use and we cannot use recycled plastic because it could be dangerous for health. This is why we have chosen bioplastic from sugarcane. The raw material is totally safe for water, and we pack all our bottles in paper box.
What is Join the Pipe doing to reduce emissions from operations? Thank you.
Sugarcane is a renewable source. You can plant it and create new materials every year. You can produce sugar, ethanol, but you can also produce bioplastic. When the sugarcane grows, it does absorb the CO2 emission out of the air, so we do reduce emission by the plants. The production of sugarcane doesn't need fertilizer. It doesn't need chemicals and doesn't need irrigation. We use only the fiber after the sugar is taken out, called the bagasse. All our bottles can be filled and refilled with locally filtered tap water or fountains in all major cities or countries. Refill, reuse, reduce.
Is your service self-financing, or do you need to have a funding sponsor such as a town council or a big company?
As of today, most of our city bottles have been ordered by universities, city councils, hotels as part of their sustainable city marketing campaign. But please remember that 80% of the plastic that goes into the oceans comes from poor countries. So we need to tackle the problem at source. With the sales of our bottles in rich countries, we do finance in poor countries the distribution of John the Pipe bottle for children in school, the installation of water pump in school as well, or the organization of city cleanup of plastic waste. Up to now, we have financed almost 300 projects, and we will continue. So please join us. Please vote for us, because together we can reduce the use of single-use plastic bottles in travel retail. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's now take a look at our third sustainability pitch.
Beam Suntory is guided by our vision of growing for good. And one way our people passionately pursue this vision is through our programs to protect water and the environment. With water and grain at the center of nearly every product we craft, we are committed to protecting water, particularly around our distilleries, warehouses, bottling plants, and offices throughout the world. Kentucky bourbon gets its wonderful taste in part from the local naturally filtered limestone water. Inspired by our parent company Suntory's leadership in this area, Beam Suntory has developed natural water sanctuary programs for our two largest distilleries. At Maker's Mark, we've established a 33-acre natural water sanctuary on the distillery grounds to preserve the land that filters its groundwater while also improving the quality of vegetation and maintaining the health of the surrounding forest. At Jim Beam, we've partnered with the Bernheim Arboretum and Research Forest to protect the water source that runs through the distillery for the world's #1 bourbon. The Jim Beam Natural Water Sanctuary Alliance at Bernheim aims to protect natural water, restore wildlife habitats, and reintroduce native plants and trees. We empower our teams at our production locations to find innovative ways to protect their local water sources. Our Segovia, Spain distillery has undertaken a reforestation and water education project on the distillery grounds. In the US Virgin Islands, our Cruise and Rum distillery's highly advanced water regeneration system has led to a major reduction in the amount of fresh water required and the amount of wastewater generated. In Mexico, our Sauza distillery's water initiatives reduced groundwater consumption by up to 70% in a water-stressed area. And in India, our team is harvesting rainwater for reuse to replenish the water table. And together with Suntory Holdings, Beam Suntory supports the charity Water, a global non-profit organization on a mission to bring clean and safe drinking water to every person on the planet. We are constantly inspired by the many ways our employees find to give back. Whether it's cleaning up local beaches or rivers, or holding fundraisers and drives, our people around the world are working together to preserve and protect our precious resources. And we support these efforts by providing each employee with 2 paid days off each year to give back to their communities in the way that's most meaningful to them. At Beam Suntory, corporate responsibility starts with protecting water and the environment wherever we operate. It's central to our vision of growing for good.
Welcome back. Let's take a look now at the Q&A session for the third sustainability pitch.
My question is, sustainability appears very well embedded within your organization's priorities and your business processes. How do you communicate these values to your retail partners and to end consumers?
Indeed, sustainability sits really high in our strategy, and actually is part of the vision for the company. Our vision is defined by a bold statement, growing for good. And this has an immediate impact on how we live our sustainability programs, which is called our positive impact. This framework is defined by 3 key pillars, which are how we can become more nature positive, more consumer positive, and more community positive. Within each of these pillars, we have different initiatives going on. One of the best examples from Nature Positive will be any of the initiatives from a manufacturing, supply, or procurement perspective about packaging and how we can become more green conscious. This matter, so we have really aggressive targets to achieve, which are to use 100% recyclable packaging and 40% recycled materials by 2030. And even a bigger ambition to increase these targets up to 60% by 2040. We also talk about consumer positive, and in this aspect, we'll be incorporating all the different corporate programs to incentivize drinking smartly and drinking responsibly. And finally, from a community perspective, among other initiatives, we work really close and take care of our partners and suppliers. And for that, we have a philanthropy programs in order to give back to society, especially in these areas where we obtain the raw ingredients for our liquids. If I think how we communicate these values to our retailers and to our end shoppers, I would say that for me, actually, this is kind of my presentation letter anytime that I start speaking with any colleague from the industry or any new retailer. Because in a nutshell, it really represents the identity of and the DNA of Beam Suntory. And everything we do starts with sustainability.
Has it been hard to initiate your initiatives within your company? Or do you have the feeling there is an overall strong commitment towards sustainability within your company?
I'm going to give you my personal experience as I joined Beam Suntory a couple of years ago. And previously I used to work with some other companies where they have already started this sustainability agenda. I would say that since I joined Beam Suntory, I found sustainability kind of a natural theme across the organization. And I believe one of the reasons is because it's sitting so high on our strategy that from the very first day, you really understand the pivotal role that sustainability plays on anything we do. Also in 2020, we had our first Sustainability Week, where we had the opportunity to understand and to learn about all different initiatives that are running across the organization. And quite recently, a couple of weeks ago, we also celebrated the World Water Day, where we were presenting some of the most recent results achieved during 2020, which in this case, they represent a reduction of 20% in our global water usage. This will definitely contribute to achieve our targets that we have proposed for 2030 and 2040.
How do you let your consumers know what you are doing so they can pick your product because of your sustainability credentials?
There are different ways we will be talking to consumers about sustainability, starting from any corporate communication based on the previous initiatives that we were commenting. Also, in just a few months, we'll be unveiling new targets and different initiatives and programs on our sustainability agenda. And this will be widely communicated across different platforms, professional, but also consumer-orientated. If I think about the end consumers, there are some brands where we are already quite advanced on this agenda. One of these is Maker's Mark, one of our most bourbon brands in the portfolio, where we are fully self-sufficient from an energetic perspective. So we source our water from a lake close to our facilities, materials are recyclable, handmade process, and this is communicated through different campaigns emphasizing these credentials. Also, one of our most recent examples comes from Sipsmith, one of our gin brands, which has been certified as a B Corp, something that we will definitely set a new standard for the brand and that we will be communicating into end consumer and professionals.
It's now time for our fourth and final pitch.
Hello, I am Cécile Lochat, Head of Sustainability at Guerlain, and I'm here today at the Good Planet Foundation, founded by the famous activist and photographer Yann Arthus-Bertrand. We are very happy to have developed a strong partnership with the foundation. At Guerlain, nature has been inspiring us since 1828, guiding all our sustainability action as we put nature conservation at the heart of our work. As we enter this year, a new crucial decade defined by the United Nations at the 10 to go, meaning the 10 years of action to achieve and deliver the Global Sustainable Development Goals, we are proud at Guerlain to celebrate 14 years of commitment. From early on, our Maison has been fully aware of social and environmental responsibility among many others, and we have a unique track record and pioneer recognition as we are living in the beauty sector a real momentum. That's what ensured us to anticipate the rocketing expectation of our clients towards more transparent and responsible beauty brands, had the demand for meaningful products that respect our health and the health of our planet is at an all-time high and isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So we are glad to present you Guerlain today through a new lens. And first, our sustainable development strategy is supported by our brand purpose, a strong backbone that has been shared within the entire organization a year ago. In the name of beauty, sharing the wonders of nature with future generations, with bees at the sentinel. I will be brief, unfortunately, as I must develop in a few minutes all our sustainable key challenges and roadmaps. But let me point out our 4 key main pillars, grounded by a range of ambitious goals and identifiable achievements. First pillar, our initiative to boost sustainable innovation in full transparency and traceability with a deep focus on clean beauty, naturalness, and circular economy. This is our primary concern, and we review all ongoing product developments to make sure that at every stage of the creation, we systematically apply environmental parameters and a circular economy mindset to ensure we transform positively the offer. To become the benchmark luxury house in terms of naturalness, our target is that each new Guerlain formula must meet a minimum of 90% naturally derived ingredients whenever possible. After the performance of our skincare ranges regarding naturalness, challenge is fully accepted in makeup and perfectly illustrated through our 2021 launches with 3 essential products of a makeup routine formulated with more than 95% of natural ingredients. And we are sure they will become new torchbearer of our progress in the field of sustainable innovation. Still under our innovation banner, I invite you to discover or rediscover our traceability platform, Be Respect. This digital tool is a response to the growing consumer demand for transparency. It helps clients better understand and be informed about the whole life cycle of Guerlain products they use or might use, offering traceability on more than 500 ingredients. It positioned Guerlain 2 years ago when we launched it as a pioneer for transparency in the luxury and cosmetic sector. Second pillar, preserving biodiversity and leading bee protection. And first, make sure that 100% of our iconic raw materials will come from certified sustainable chain. Regarding bee conservation, we signed meaningful partnership with NGOs dedicated to bees protection, bees welfare, bees repopulation, and also sensibilization on bees, as raising awareness on the challenges surrounding their preservation is crucial. And we notably developed our Bee School volunteering program led by our Guerlain collaborators. Thirdly, another science axis of our sustainable policy, taking action for climate to reduce our footprints. These stakes are high. Guerlain is committing to reach carbon neutrality scope 1, 2, 3 by 2030. And lastly, we aim at creating positive social contributions through bees, meaning places Guerlain at the forefront of an impactful sustainable female empowerment program, Women for Bees. We engage those with UNESCO to train and empower women to become professional beekeepers in biosphere reserve while restocking the world with millions of bees. To conclude, I'd say that luxury and beauty are undergoing fascinating and stimulating transformation. And at Guerlain, we are committed to actively and authentically participating in this movement. Thank you, TR Business Magazine, and I wish you a happy Sustainability Week.
Now, let's join our final judges Q&A session for today.
You state that each new formula must meet a minimum of 90% naturally derived ingredients whenever possible. Under which circumstances would you pursue a product when this was not possible?
Each new cosmetic formula and reformulation Must meet a minimum attainment of 90% naturally derived ingredient whenever possible, and as long as it does not impact the sensoriality, the performance and the security of our formula, which remain our absolute priorities. Guerlain has undertaken very long tests of selection amongst natural raw materials to find some equivalents having the same properties of our usual synthetic ones. If this works to replace synthetic by naturally derived ingredient has already shown very encouraging results, some challenge remains, like the substitution of silicons or the replacement of naturally derived non-controversial solar filters, for instance. This approach represents a real challenge, and especially when it comes to makeup and the ability to maintain the levels of effectiveness. And our latest launches, meaning Terracotta, Kiss Kiss Shine Bloom, and L'Essentiel, are very encouraging as we manage to reach rates superior to 95% naturally derived ingredient. However, the main objective of makeup being all about creating effects and colors, this is not always feasible with the naturally derived ingredients that we have so far. For instance, for the mineral oils that are used in our traditional lipstick formula, that are very pure and allow much effect and start to replaced by oils from vegetal origin. However, these ones have restricted formulation properties, the firmness or the olfactory. This oil in particular can vary from one batch to another, resulting in difficulties to reproduce the formulas in larger quantities. Of course, we continue to look for substitute, and we already have some promising results, but in some cases, and that's why the whenever.
How do you convey the sustainability actions or messages towards the consumers?
It's a very important element when we do sustainable development, when we do well what we do, to let it know, to publicize our achievements. All the more when we are convinced that our latest sustainable product innovation fully meet the new expectation of consumers. And that's the reason why 2 years ago we launched our digital traceability platform, Be Respect, soon available worldwide in native languages, in response to the growing consumer demand for transparency and the ability Guerlain can have to communicate on the sustainability on the whole. And this platform allows customers to better understand all of our more than 500 ingredients and to stay informed about the life cycle of the Guerlain product they use or may use. It offers then a unique and authentic communication on our topics of sustainability. On another side, and each of our press kits, each press conference, we do address also the subject of sustainability.
Bees are a sensitive subject in the world of animal exploitation. How do you respond to that? Are you working on an alternative?
We absolutely are aware that bees are a sensitive subject now. Regarding our sourcing of honey, we do work through our exclusive supply chain with our beekeeper in France, Greece, Finland, Corsica, in a sustainable beekeeping way that is monitored and assessed by an external non-profit association in respect of sourcing. By the way, we also have deal and signed a partnership since 5 years with Observatoire Français d'Apidologie, OFA, French Observatory of Apidology, working on a very sustainable beekeeping methods, and that's also why we propose with UNESCO to train women in biosphere reserve to this sustainable modern beekeeping method.
That wraps up today's pitching sessions. A big thank you to all our entrants. I'm sure you'll all agree we've seen some inspiring and thought-provoking ideas on show. Let's see how our pitching companies fared.
Congratulations to all of the participants for the hard work that they've put into their pitches and in raising the green credentials of the Travel Retail channel. All of today's companies can celebrate their creativity, their ability to listen to what the consumer wants, and also their willingness to make a positive change in their business model for the benefit of the planet. The first of today's pitching companies reaching the benchmark score and the ability to use the 4-star Travel Retail Sustainability Trailblazer logo is Beam Suntory, Growing for Good. Our judges thought that the pitch made it very clear that for Beam Suntory, driving the sustainability agenda is a key and valued part of the business. Seeing how this environmental focus is implemented across multiple locations and learning about the best practices they have in place were highlights of the pitch. Well done, Beam Suntory. Also achieving the benchmark score and the ability to use the 4-star Travel Retail Sustainability Trailblazer logo is Guerlain, in the name of beauty. Our judges were impressed with the transparency that Guerlain offers in the way that it shares information with consumers via its online database. The B programme gained the company extra kudos, as did the way that Guerlain are promoting the empowerment of women. Congratulations to Guerlain. Moving on to the first company which has today reached 5-star travel retail sustainability hero status. Brown-Forman, renew, reuse, recycle. Our pitch judges thought that it was a great example of a business working to offset their emissions via the generation of renewable energy, and they were also very impressed by Brown-Forman going the extra mile and partnering with a company to demonstrate their commitment to it. Combined with their commitment to sustainable wooden barrels, it is a good example of a large company tackling a very big subject. Congratulations to Brown-Forman. This leaves us with just one remaining pitching company, which has also today reached 5-star travel retail sustainability hero status. Join the Pipe, a sustainable alternative to single-use plastic bottles. The judges thought that the City Water Initiative was an extremely interesting programme and a brilliant concept that will be instrumental in helping drive change in behaviours. They particularly liked the clear, tangible impact of selling water in reusable bottles, as well as the sustainably produced bottles that double up as great souvenirs for travel retail. Well done to Join the Pipe, and once again congratulations to all of our pitching companies today.
Thanks for joining. We sincerely hope you've enjoyed viewing these travel retail sustainability pitch sessions. And don't forget, for more information on sustainability issues in duty-free and travel retail, head over to trbusiness.com. TR Business would like to take this opportunity to pay a special thank you to all of its premium partners, sustainability pitch entrants, judges, participating companies, not to mention all of you tuning in to watch the sessions. Thank you for your support of Travel Retail Sustainability Week and the pitch sessions, and see you soon.